Well, thank you very much for the invitation to come to this meeting, not just as a speaker, but also as somebody who would very much like to listen to what will be said. Because as Hugh Jones mentioned, the amendments in the Econ Committee goes in quite diverse directions, and I can say that even in my own group we find very liberal response, because we've got some members saying that we should ditch the whole idea altogether, and we are a number of members who think that it's a good idea to have an OTF, but we should clarify the suggestion. So it's quite unclear what will be the outcome, and I'm not sure either that the rapporteur, Mr. Ferber, at the present stage have a very fixed idea as to where we are heading. So I think this meeting is quite timely, because you're actually in a situation where you can affect what will be the outcome. It's an open situation where arguments still matter, and it's not just a political battle. When we look at the OTF, yes, some think that it shouldn't be there, that it's not needed, and very often from the point of view that derivatives trading should be forced into the regulated markets, and MTF, which some fear would dry out liquidity and the smoothness. So some of them, those who are against the OTF, are actually against because they want to go back on what we have achieved with the first MiFID, the free competition that we've had, and which I think everybody thinks is beneficial. Those of us who would like to have an OTF do that because we do see with the suggestion from the Commission a possibility of keeping what was good in the freeing up of monopolies, but also having a more level playing field, and certainly transparency. I think transparency is very much key to what we want, and there is a fear that too much trading and too much price setting is being done in closed circles over the counter, and we will have a problem where actually more and more the regulated exchanges will not be reflecting the price as it is. So we should make sure that things are transparent. I have put in some amendments myself, and I think those amendments I've put in reflects a concern that is the concern that we find very much among members. That is that we do not think the Commission's proposal is clear enough on the difference between different markets, and specifically that you see a difference between the equity markets on the one hand and the bond and derivative markets on the other hand. The issue being that equities markets are order-driven markets with both professional and retail market players, and with rather small trading sizes. And whereas the bond and derivatives market is more a wholesale market, price-driven, with very large trading sizes, and where you need market makers. And that is why what at least I would try to work in favor of is to have a change to the OTF proposal to make sure that you clarify how we treat equities on the one hand and bonds and derivatives on the other hand. In the equity side, we think that it's important that the OTF is accessible for all, that there is not this possibility of keeping some out, so it should imply non-discriminatory access, or we should make sure that it's non-discriminatory access for all investment firms. And also we should perhaps we could set a certain limit on when you should have the non-discriminatory access when it reaches a certain size. But this is again saying that it should be a level playing field with the regulated markets, that you have the transparency and the access you have on the regulated markets. And we do not believe you should have propriety trading in the proposal for equities, but you find differing views among MEPs on this. So this is certainly something that can be discussed. Again, I'm clear of what Hugh Jones said, that the amendments from MEPs, they are in all directions. All possibilities are on the tables. Concerning the bond and derivatives, there I think it's, as I mentioned, it's a price-driven market. It's with professional actors, and you need market makers. And for that reason, I believe it should be possible to have the use of proprietary capital in an OTF in order to facilitate trading and assure that you have the necessary liquidity in the system. So these are some of the amendments I've been working in favor of, and also the shadow rapporteur from my group, Ole Schmidt, is sort of on the same line. But we might be open for several solutions. The important thing is that we have the level playing field, and that we have transparency, and that we actually know when we have the trades that we have a regular reflection of the prices that are in the market. So that's the point of view I want to present in the first case. Thank you.